regulatory problem. You have to look at some
थैंक यू। मोहित ऐसे खड़ा रह गया। अरे मोहित
Yeah, so I will need your official IDs and your company names as well. So I put your designation and your name. Yeah, thank you so much.
I know we met on you.
Yes, yes. So I'm Aditya, just called Brahma.
Oh, okay. No, but you guys have done a great job.
हम लोग को कलकत्ता में रहना है ना और सब बढ़िया भी
Within business. Absolutely. Stop.
Take it very seriously and work on it. Lovely to have you here in Calcutta.
The resistance to try out is more in personal products because you are far more loyal. You don't know what a skincare brand will do or hair care brand will do alternate, so you don't want to shift. Foods, it's okay, it's a different taste, But depending on again what you're offering, branded commodity foods can be a 5% gross margin also. Like most edible oils, except Saffola, in the range of 5%, 7% gross margins, which to us it doesn't satisfy us. But depending again on your business model, you need to decide whether you want to get into it or not.
So just please introduce your name and your business and then...
Good evening, Mr. Harsh.
Yeah.
I am Vishal Agarwal from ICBI Chapter 3 and we are into edible oil manufacturing. Sir, my question to you is, you mentioned that your people cost is approximately 5% versus your advertisement cost is around 9 to 10%.
Yes.
For building up a brand, initially, there is always a fight among the finance team and the marketing team, where the marketing team would never be able to give the ROI on the advertisement spend, and the finance team would always be struggling to support. How at Marico, in this journey of 30 years from Bombay Oil Meals to Marico Saffola, you were able to monitor this in the initial stages, and how is it being done now?
No, I think you as an entrepreneur have to take a call, Spending on marketing, will it help me create a brand? Because finance will go on raising such issues. You have to, as an entrepreneur, decide whether does that brand have traction? Is it differentiated? Then it needs investments, Then I would not listen too much to finance. Of course, you have to listen to them, but sometimes they cannot just take a financial angle to any business decision, So I think I would say that listen to finance, but ultimately you have to decide whether to invest if the finance is unreasonable, I would not listen to them.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Hello.
Good evening, Mr. Mariwala. I'm from Bajbaj Refineries Limited, and we are also into edible oils. And my question to you is, how do you have difficult conversations with family members regarding the need for change? I read your book, Harsh Realities, and that particular thing intrigued me a lot, where you convinced your family members for the change.
I think it's difficult, but you have to find out a way, depending on who is heading the family. That person has to actually take lead. If that person is not taking a lead, can you get some internal family member who can have an influence on others? Ultimately, I think the family has to gather and arrive at some degree of consensus in the family charter, which I talked about. It is difficult, but if you are not able to do it internally, then get hold of some consultant whom everybody accepts within the family. That consultant will help you in terms of alignment, But this is something which is very crucial. If you don't do it, then it can have an impact on the business.
Thank you so much.
So we'll have one last question, but before that, since he brought this up, I must strongly recommend that you must read the book written by Sir. It's one of the most candid, amazing story you will find. Right? So so last question.
Hi, hi sir. I'm Dhruv, not from the edible oils business. We're into plastics from the youth wing. I heard three very key terms in your talk today. One is culture, empowering, and then being on the ground. Now,
Culture, power. Can you be a bit louder, please?
culture, empowering, and then being on the ground. By default, India's culture is very top-down, as in people always look up for what to do. In this kind of environment, how do you give the trust and belief to people on the ground to, one, send up their voices, and two, have the trust that the actions that they want to take will be taken?
No, I'm not able to understand your question, but what you're saying is how do people at the lower levels make an impact within the organization? Is that the question?
How do you make a culture that empowers them?
So I think, for example, our culture is very open. So we give opportunities for our talent to ask any questions. We have an open house at our organizational communication exercise where anybody can ask any questions to the top management. Normally, we try and select leaders. By and large, leaders are very open. So if the leader and their team sits down, then if the leader is open, they will ask people down the line, okay, what are your thoughts on this brand or this thinking or this whatever is required. So I think it all depends on the leadership behavior, whether they want to involve people down the line, and are you giving opportunities to people down the line to give their thoughts, and will you consider their thoughts if there is a merit in their thoughts. So it's not at all a top-down culture. It is, defined culture and values are defined at the top, but the challenge is how do you take them all the way to the bottom.
Thank you, sir.
So sir, I'll take the liberty for the last question.
Sorry, okay.
Didn't you ever feel like just selling off your company,
No,
take the
never.
money and enjoy yourself?
No, I had many opportunities. I still have those opportunities, but no. Money beyond a point it doesn't impact to me, it doesn't impact me at all. I think my belief is to have a perpetuity rather than, so I'm saying that, okay, how can, even if I'm not there tomorrow, the business should, like what has happened to Levers or Procter & Gamble or L'Oreal, these were families we started and they've survived over centuries,
Thank you so much, sir. Let's,
Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you, sir, for sharing your wonderful experiences with us. I would also like to thank Rahul for making this event happen. Also thank you, Mr. Gaurav, for sharing 5 scoops of wisdom. I also thank the Ascent team for coming down here. And again, thank you, sir, for sharing out and sharing very candid experiences and answering all the questions and taking out time to come here. Thank you so much. Can we have another round of applause for sir? And can we have a group picture? Everyone to come up on stage with a group picture. Huh? ठीक है. So we also have a dinner lined up outside. Please have dinner before you leave. Mahesh?
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. It was truly a pleasure.
Please, absolutely. Thank you.
So hence I think that right now.
Yes, such a pleasure, yeah. So, yes, very much so. I make all the yummy flavors, product development, R&D.
ICBI provides a great business opportunity for new businesses. There are people from different sectors and different verticals in different chapters. So there is a great opportunity for members to collaborate with each other and
So you have to be the fittest version of yourself, right? Mental fitness, physical fitness, there are no two choices about that. I look like this back in 2015. That's me today, 15 kilos lighter. Believe me, this is a game changer, right? The more fit you are, the faster you scale. The next 3 learnings are all about the people that you need to get. The first one, we don't need to make all the mistakes ourselves. There are plenty of people who have made plenty of mistakes. It really helps getting a mentor. Somebody who's been there, who's done that, who's made the mistakes that you are going to make and can help you guide through the process. So when I talk about getting a mentor, some people ask me, where do you get one? Right? How do you identify one? Where do you get one? And I would say, because of this gentleman here, when he opened up the Indian economy back in the 90s, there were these entrepreneurs in their early 30s, late 30s, who have really built some strong businesses in the country, right? They spent the next 2-3 decades building large businesses. They scaled it up, and now they've handed it over either to professionals or to the next generation. And what are they doing, the guys who've scaled the business? They're playing golf, right? That is a bloody waste of incredible talent. We need to get out there, get them in, and get them to be our mentors, right? That's one of the things. The second is join a trust group. Right? In a trust group, like in a running group, everybody encourages each other. They point out the mistakes that you're making, and they call you out when you're being lazy. They call you out when you're not being ambitious enough. They call you out when you say the same thing every single month. They help you get faster, right? For me, Ascent, obviously, is the trust group that I go to. I go to Bombay every single month. I meet with my group of friends. And whether it's midnight or 6 a.m., believe me, there are calls that go when we are having problems. And my last but not least learning is you have to build a dream team. The bigger your dream, the more important your team. That's my team, about 200 of us who are now scaling Rolik across the board. And I spend about 50% of my time building a team. That's how important it is. So just to summarize, the 5 scoops of scaling an ice cream business or scaling any business is have a very clear goal, become the fittest version of yourself, recruit a mentor, join a trust group, and finally build a dream team, right? That's it from me. I was only the starter. The main course is yet to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gaurav. I think you were the starter as well as the dessert. So moving on, sir, we would like to show you a video of our ICBI. So can we please play the ICBI video?
I am sure tomorrow, when there will be mankind in Mars, the first chamber to open in Mars will be ICBI.
Proximity is power. We are the average of our 5 closest friends. The company that we...
You call it We Talk, We Learn, all these sessions. I've gained a lot of knowledge by attending these sessions.
ICBI pays very close attention to what their members want and need and reassess what they offer.
How's it going? Acha, Mumbai or in Goa? No, we are selling in loose and supplying to.
Hi.